Hello everyone, it's John, and today we are going to be looking at, I believe this is issue 2 of the ENQUIRIES magazine, and the game that came in that magazine was called Barbarian Kings, Fantasy Empires in Conflict. And this is what you get within it. This is the map, which of course, as you'll see with a lot of them, they're just essentially an A3 colour that has been produced. And I can tell you that I have played this game. I played this quite a lot during the 80s, and for the life of me now, do you think I can remember how to play it? No, of course not. But it did have the turns nicely marked at the bottom. You had actually got a phase marker that you could move yourself down, and there was indeed at least a summary in each section as to what each of them were available for you to do. So that was the map for Barbarian Kings, which was, you know, really good. Now, it's a game that plays for 1 to 5 players, and it's interesting here. I should have found this or seen whether or not it's actually been printed anywhere else, but it's a nice thing they had in a lot of games was the read this first section. And they're saying here the rules to Barbarian Kings are organised by major topics arranged in order in which they occur in the play of the game, which is why you've got them numbered from 1 to whatever. So each such major topic is given a number and a name below which is given, usually, a general rule or description which summarises the rules in that section. And then there may be case notes or cases that will drop the number down further. So it is, they say here that the basic description of this game, I'll just take that out so you can have a look at that. So Barbarian Kings is a simulation of the Red Age of political and military turmoil on the island continent of Castafon, situated in the northern quadrant of the Fira Sea on the planet Hypatia. This is a world where magic works, sometimes it says, in brackets, and men and near men are as treacherous and as territorial as anywhere in any of the universes. So the players from 2 to 5 assume the role of provincial kings bent on conquest and consolidation by force and deceit, manoeuvre and manipulation. Each has the goal of bringing under his control sufficient number of provinces to win the game. And that's really what the game revolves around. So you've got the playing pieces, and they're fairly typical. Not sure how well this will turn out. I'm trying this now. We'll see how this goes. But these are the playing pieces that they provided, and they represent the units that are available. So the red are the barbarians, the green are the elves, the yellow are the civilized people, so I'm presuming they're saying humans. The little orange dudes down here, they're orcs, as you can probably tell by somebody riding a wolf. Then you have dwarves and some special units. There were frogmen, whales, air balloons, and you had a pirate fleet. And then you had some, what are these guys? The 611. Feudal infantry. So they were feudal infantry that you could recruit. And then here are the 5 coloured, shall we say, leaders that you could get. So there was your king and your heroes and your magic users or wizards. And you even got, look, a phase counter. So that's what the counters were. And what I really liked is that at the back they gave you here are the counters, and they're the right size or the right dimensions as the counters that you play with. And I can remember that when we were playing this quite a lot, that I would photocopy these, because once again, back in the 80s, hey, photocopiers was the best that we could deal with, and I'd colour the pieces, and that was quite good. So, and it also helps too that obviously if you go lose units, it's easy enough to replace. And obviously in today's modern age of scanning and the capacity to colour and everything, I think even Microsoft Paint would be able to cope with that. But as you can see, here's the might move this out of the way before I see pieces fly everywhere. It's all numbered, and they've given it in the order. So you've got your basic description, your equipment, your definition of terms, setting up the game sequence, the sequence of play, alliances, finance, movement, combat, magic, and then the victory conditions. So it's what I love with games for this period of time, was that people tended to be far more analytical in how they presented their games, and it was easy because people were able to find what they wanted relatively without too much complication. I don't know, maybe I'm just showing how old I am. But the rules are only 8 pages in length, and it is a simple, really simple. And there you go, look, even in the back you've got a copy of the map, which you could photocopy and which you could use for things like alliances and moving. I think you used it for moving troops between locations. So the victory conditions in a 2-player game was for a player must control provinces with a total taxation value of 120. So each of these, I'll look at the larger map, might be easier. Each location in the map, on the map, has a number. So apart from its number, which might be 18, which is, they've just numbered the counties, but you'll find like the Barbarians only have a taxation value of 6. Yet we've got the Orcs worth 10, and things like that. So there is, now I'll make sure I'm not talking out of my backside here, but I'm fairly sure that is the correct interpretation. But anyway, look, as I said, I haven't played this game for so long, but when I did play it, it was really well received. It plays well as 2 players. It's an excellent 2-player game. So with a 2-player game, you needed to get 120 points worth of provinces at the beginning of the game turn to win. And in a 3-player game, you needed 100. And with more than 3, so obviously a 4 and 5 player, you needed 90. And a game may be ended before one player fulfills the victory conditions with mutual agreement by all players. So in other words, somebody might obviously have to go home and it's, oh well, look, let's count up and see who's won. So pretty good for its time. So look, there you have it. Barbarian Kings. This is by far one of my favourite games from the past. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall sign off and catch you next time.